In this video, I will share with you what all soulful intimate partners should know for 2021 and 2022. If you're watching right now, yes, this means you. Hi, I'm Liana. Welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about intimacy growth. Check out my ebook on Amazon, Get Your Orgasmic Intimacy book. This is a coaching book. It is bound to answer many questions that you have and be a practical guide for you. So, I'm going to share some important things about soulful intimacy, meaning understanding the heights that we can reach through our sexual and erotic energy, and the mission that maybe all soulful intimate partners have now in 2021 and 2022 with everything that is going on, what they have as mission on planet Earth. First off, let me put it like this. If you are here, whether you clicked on this by accident, whether you are subscribed to the channel, whether you were searching for something else and this one popped up on your screen, when it was just a recommendation, soulful intimacy is something that you are resonating with, and soulful intimacy is something that is in your potential too. In fact, the key to understanding soulful intimacy is that absolutely every single one of us has the potential to be a soulful intimate partner with all that this entails. But the fact that not too many people are like this is because they haven't done enough work on themselves to feel intuitively and instinctively into the power of sexuality and the power that it has on themselves and then on the ones that they share intimacy with. When I say soulful intimacy, the implications of soulfulness in intimacy, by the way, it's the fact that we engage in our intimacy beyond a mere physical encounter, momentary pleasure ignition or pleasure experience, or simply a release of tension. The promise that soulful intimacy has for us is that of transformation, reaching a full potential, not just in intimacy, but through intimacy and everything else that we do in our lives. Because intimacy is one of the most vulnerable things that we do, places that we relate from, the potential to transform here is huge. And the effects are felt not just in our intimacy, but in the rest of our lives. The transformation that happens not just on a physical level through an orgasm, but on an emotional level, the level of purging, transformation of patterns of emotions. Yes, I'm talking patterns of emotions that can be released, transformed, and heightened, exalted. The understanding that we get, the tranquility that a soulful intimacy can bring us, the grounding and the centering, is incomparable to a lot of other things that happen with us in this lifetime. Many people don't realize this potential because either they never met somebody with whom they had such a powerful connection, or, equally possible, they never did enough cleansing or soul searching to understand that there's a huge potential in intimacy. And it's not just in the fact that we have a social status when we couple with somebody or when we partner with somebody, but we actually get to grow beyond what we could on our own. This is one of the keys to partnerships. And we're talking committed partnerships who are soulful, alive in all its aspects, including the intimate one, sexual and erotic. The key to understanding the promise and potential or power that soulful intimacy has for you is in the things that I'm going to share with you right now. What you need to know right now on the planet, especially after 2020 and the shutting down of mankind, essentially locking us in the house and isolating us from people. A lot of people felt lonely, destitute, not just emotionally, but also financially and materially. This cut down our capacity to relate joyfully, openly, soulfully with other people. And many people are single, not because they choose to, but because they don't have the power right now to connect so powerfully with somebody. Either they don't meet potential partners, or they are struggling to make ends meet right now, so there's no energy left to relate or connect in intimacy with somebody. Secondly, what you also need to know is that right now there is a growing movement to bring more awareness into unhealthy and from shadow engaging in intimacy, sexuality, and erotic. With the shutting down of everyone and locking us in houses and homes, a lot of people fell into many detrimental habits, one of them being consuming unconsciously erotic material that wasn't necessarily heightening them or raising their consciousness, their way of being in any way. Yes, porn addiction, which existed before 2020, is a growing and exacerbating reality of 2021 right now. So this movement, which entails NGOs, facilitators, meaning coaches, therapists, educators around sexuality who are bringing knowledge and wisdom around getting out of a situation that is not healthy for us, getting proper education around sexuality, and getting empowered so that we live in our full potential, our intimacy, and then the rest of our lives. So these people are making a conscious effort to bring awareness to the public. In some universities in the West, they've even gone as far as bringing classes to help college students, because they are of age, to relate and to handle interacting with pornography, which is so ubiquitous right now, in a way that it doesn't take them down and consume them and get them addicted, but in a way that they can manage it and hopefully navigate, steer from it or through it in a way that they get to the end that they choose. Soulful, intimate relationships, happy, fulfilled, partnered lives. This is a time for waking up and empowering ourselves in our intimacy. And I'm not talking about dominating others, impairing others, ruling over others, deciding for others. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about centering ourselves, grounding ourselves, bringing light and consciousness to what our sexuality and sexual expression is and what the gift is, not just for ourselves, but also for our partners. And the invitation is that we step into this work, inner work, before we meet the love of our lives, our soulmate, our twin flame, whatever your name that you have for that person. Ideally, you want to step into this conscious work before you do that. Just because somebody comes into your life, that doesn't mean that they will do your work for you. This is something that you need to do on your own. So, with no further ado, here are the 3 things that I consider important. First of all, own this inner work. Start doing this inner work. Own yourself. Spend time looking at what intimacy is. Whether you read a book or take a class or do personal one-on-one work with a coach, a therapist, an educator, a healer, whatever it is that you need to do in order to bring more light and lightness. So release that heavy load of whatever is troubling you, consuming you from within, whatever negative or low emotions that you feel. Do this work on yourself. Take your time to work, cleanse yourself, and empower yourself in that way. The keywords here are love, acceptance, awareness. Do this work for yourself. Make it your priority. Nobody else can do it for you. Number 2, let go of old patterns, stories, programmings, perspectives that you had. I'm talking here about letting go of old thought patterns, deprecating, self-deprecating thought patterns that maybe you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you cannot hold that kind of a space for somebody. Maybe broken hearts and regrets or longing for people that don't necessarily invest or respond the same way that you bring energy to them. So let go of all that old conditioning and programming and release heaviness so that you can actually get to the place where you work on yourself, hold space for yourself, and therefore help others, whether just by setting an example. You don't necessarily have to help others get empowered in their intimacy just by relating intimately to them. You can be an example for somebody. You can be an inspiration for somebody just because you let go of that heaviness that maybe you were carrying and others around you know that. And through that simple and very brave act, and not easy, by the way, it's not easy to let go of unfulfilled desires, unreciprocated or unrequited love, regrets after somebody that is no longer with us, and so on. How do you do this? You be present with yourself. You ground yourself. And one way you can do this is through somatic practices. You can check out my channel. I have a breathwork series on it. They take 10 minutes tops, and they can help you literally change your emotional disposition. And in time, if you do these, if you're consistent with them, you actually get to release a lot of the heavy stuff that you're carrying. And number 3, focus on connecting soulfully in intimacy. Even if this may mean actually not connecting at times with people. What a weird thing to say, right? But this is actually the biggest and the most important thing that you can do as a soulful intimate partner. Realize what is the place that you're engaging sexually from. Is it because you haven't had action in a lot of time? Is it because it's not okay to not have action and you think that maybe you're broken or you're lame? Is it because you are anxious or fearful that maybe you're not worthy of more attention if you don't connect sexually with somebody super fast? Or is it because you are bored? What is the place that you're connecting from in intimacy? This is not necessarily easy to spot in the beginning, especially because many people don't realize when they have the yearning and the urge to engage sexually, they don't take time to think, am I connecting from fear, from love, from joyfulness, from boredom, from tenderness, from bliss, from where am I connecting from? Okay, this isn't common. This is not something that your average Joe or Joanna will do. This is something that actually takes a bit of an effort and a bit of inner work to start to realize what is going on with me right now. Where am I connecting or engaging sexually from? But this is the invitation for you to become a soulful intimate partner. Become aware what's happening, what you're acting out on. These are the 3 things that I consider important for us to become soulful intimate partners, and the things that actually our planet, humanity, needs right now. Soulful intimacy. So let's recap right now the 3 things that all soulful intimacy partners should know in 2021 and 2022. Own your sexuality. Work on yourself to release everything that needs to be released and bring out more light, love, and acceptance. Let go of old stories, regrets, unrequited love, unfulfilled desires, and open up to new potential and matching partners. And 3, make sure that you connect intimately from your heart and soul, and learn to recognize what that feels like in your body when it happens, so that you know you're engaging from the highest place possible. So if you're not connected, make sure that you connect, subscribe to this channel, join our family, and let's grow together in the years to come. Check out the Get Your Orgasmic Intimacy ebook, find it on Amazon, and check out the programs that I have. Every now and then I open them up for enrollment, and you are bound to grow in a community with soulful intimacy guidance. Until next time, I wish you a soulful, intimate life.